Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Amphibia Episode 11. So, last week's episode was pretty damn good, got us into some heavy story-based stuff, introduced us to Sasha, who is already a better character than Anne. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but sticking by it. But yeah, definitely interested to see where this goes now, but like I said last time, we're probably going to go back to doing some just episodic shit for a while. That's going to be probably very hit or miss, mostly miss, so yeah. We'll see how it goes. But I do want to say something, like, right off the bat. After this episode, we're going to be taking a break from Amphibia. We're not dropping it, unless this episode does something, like, so freaking offensive to me that it's like I can't justify watching anymore, which is very unlikely, I feel. But we are just going to be putting it on hold and coming back to it like we do with shows on the channel. And that's because we're basically at the halfway point for the season. I think it's a good point to stop this at, before we really, like, get into the second half of this. That way we can keep it from feeling like I'm getting burnt out and everything, and come back a little more refreshed and more open-minded, especially for this series, to see what we're going to get with the future. And I hope that this episode is going to be a good one to leave off on, at least serviceable. But as for what will be replacing this in the Saturday slot, there's a couple ideas I've been thinking of, but I'm going to give it just a little bit of thought as we watch. Obviously, I'm still going to be paying attention, but I think I know what's going to replace it for the time being, and I'll talk about that in the afterthoughts. So, for the time being, we're going to get into this, see what we got in store, and hope for the best. So let's do so. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, with that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't anything like the last couple episodes had been, but it was okay, I guess. Kind of just there for me. Nothing, like, spectacular, but nothing, like, really bad. The Grub Hog episode, like, there was kind of a good message in there about, like, not putting too much pressure on people. Kind of a similar message to Encanto. So, and I can always appreciate that, considering how much I love Encanto. But yeah, a message about not putting so much pressure on people and letting them just be themselves and have fun. the bit at the end with the grub hog, like, and the vulture thing, it was a total WTF moment, but actually was kind of fucking hilarious. And it kind of came out of nowhere too, which kind of is part of what made it so funny. I couldn't even react to it like properly when it happened because it was so it was just so out of nowhere that it just I did not know how to react to it in that moment. Um, and then the second half of this episode, dealing with Hop Pop having a crush on this lady from his past and learning how to dance thanks to Anne with as a way to try and impress her and everything, and in the end winning her over. It was cute. It was cute. It was fun. I liked Anne's dancing outfit. It's pretty snazzy. It wasn't anything special though. Like it didn't like impress me or anything, but it was cute. It was nice, and I liked the message too about like not trying to like be someone else around those that you care for, whether in a romantic sense or just in general. Be yourself and be proud of who you are, and the right person for you will appreciate that. That's a great message. But it was just kind of a goofy, fun, cutesy episode. Again, nothing spectacular, but nothing bad either. My only real issue from these episodes, or from either half of this episode, was the mayor being there. Because, like, legitimately, that makes no sense, continuity-wise. He was practically run out of town because of what he did. Because of stealing all of the tax money and hiding it, causing all of this trouble for the town when the toads from the tower came down. It's like he was basically run out of town. He had to leave because of how angry everyone was with him. And then all of a sudden, this episode, he's just back. He's just back, and they're acting as if nothing happened. He's doing stuff with the town, and it's like, I'm sorry, but no. That's a massive continuity issue. And it feels like, especially with how good the last couple episodes were, especially with how big and important they were to the overarching story, to have that just kind of erased in these two episodes, or in this episode, both of these halves, it feels really wrong, honestly. It just feels like they're legitimately stepping back on continuity for the sake of having some kind of leader figure there. It would have made more sense to have someone else just kind of be named interim mayor or something. I'm not saying that his character could never return, but to have it be done this way makes no sense and just destroys continuity. And that bothers me. It does. But yeah, so not a bad episode to leave off on as we take our break. But not the best either. So yeah, as I mentioned in the pre-thoughts, we are going to be taking a break from the series to watch something else in the meantime. And as I said, I was going to think about it during the reaction and everything, and I did. And I think I kind of have to live up to, I guess you could say, a promise I made about getting to something. Since we're taking a break, we are going to start a new donation reward series, since this is a, donation reward slot. And that is, for the time being, going to be Vampire Diaries. I will talk more about like what I know about this series when we get to the reaction next week. But I'll tell you right now, it's not a lot. This was a donation from Smurfvlog, so I'll start checking it out next week. And if that series, for whatever reason, doesn't end up working out for me, if I don't end up liking it, after only a few episodes. We'll move on to something else. If it takes a little longer, then we'll probably just come back to Amphibia after. It depends on how long it takes. But if Owl House Season 2B is announced anytime in the near future, which hopefully it will be, that will take some precedence and everything, depending on how things go. So we'll see, but yeah, for now, Amphibia will be taking a break. Starting next week, we'll get to the Vampire Diaries and just kind of go from there. I'll keep you up to date as always, and we will come back to Amphibia after the fact. So yeah. In the meantime, tell me what you thought of this episode down in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.